Hello guys. So I was talking about the fact that, okay, let me tell you first that I wasn't in my best state recently. I was really stuck. I got really sloppy and I wanted to sleep constantly, day and night. I felt my sleep schedule was completely doomed and I like my schedule wasn't consistent and I wanted to sleep day and night. I was constantly tired. My body felt a weight that it was like a weight I had to constantly carry around and it didn't feel good. So I wanted to lay down or just lay somewhere, anywhere, constantly. And I wasn't getting myself together. It lasted it lasted for quite a few weeks actually, or I could say months. I don't know, maybe a few weeks. And I think that my heart feels like I am starting to lay down my stress and all of that weight and all of that panic, that survival mode, that tensity down, and I started to really lean into God and trust in fate, not worrying about things, really just feeling more optimistic of the things that go on in my life. So, for example, I am having exams these weeks. These past few weeks I had exams. I'm still having it. And you know what? I prepare the night before. It's actually not very hard because my level is already not bad. I'm like good at English and French and Chinese, and I am studying these three languages, which I'm supposed to be really good at and not really stressed about it, but because school, they always have something for you to prepare, and they have subjects, they have like instructions you have to follow to take the exam, and I'm not really good at taking exams, but I'm good at the language, so it's kind of like in the middle. I have to put in some effort, but not as much, but I still have to. And sometimes when I prepare the night before, like in the past semester, I think, I would start to panic and be stressed about all of the tests and the exams and the homeworks and all of that because I'm preparing late and I don't trust in myself. I don't really trust in anything. I would just hope for the best. And that really got me nervous, and when I'm nervous I don't perform well. That's one thing that I know of myself. I'm pretty sure that whenever I'm stressed, nervous, I perform just less better than I would normally. So I think that we should really try to let go of control. Of course, you absolutely, like I'm sure you have all heard those advice a million times from a million different people, and so many times that you actually like think it's logical, it's true, like your mind knows it. If you hear the first few words, you know right away, oh, I already know that. But we kind of like don't really feel it because we have not experienced it. We only know it from what we hear. We have not experienced it, so we still don't really know. It's like don't know that from experience, you know that from logic. And the most effective way you can learn and really take that information in is by experience. And so I want to say, from my experience right here, I really think that you should try to let go of control. I know it's not easy. I know in the moment you can often think that it is not in your control. You cannot really control it, and you are just running on survival mode, automatic habits, and you lack self-control, which is the most important thing I'm talking about here. Self-control, that's something that everyone should practice and try to master. And I think that you have to, when you feel stressed, when you feel nervous about something and you don't know the outcome, you're not sure, you are gripping like bits of certainty that you can grasp, I think you can have awareness right away that you are in survival mode and you're not feeling your best, and you know you're not going to perform well because you had that experience before, and you know every time you feel this way, it means things about to go bad. And today at my test, my exam, I did actually for a split second feel that intense nervousness, and it was just so little, and I tried to calm myself down, and I immediately, my automatic, like, subconscious mind programming, it told me every time this kind of feeling happens, it goes this way because that's how I have always experienced it. So now I'm experiencing it too, which is I get more and more nervous. I tell myself not to be nervous. I focus on the word nervous. I just keep telling myself, don't be nervous. Like, I think all of these thoughts, even though it's to encourage me to not be nervous, but the word nervous still appears in my mind and my subconscious mind. It only receives the signal nervous because this is what you repeat the most. This is the information that you repeat the most. So we're gonna take that and see how you always handled it in the past, and we're just gonna do that. So I started feeling more and more anxious, more and more nervous, and I felt like, oh my gosh, immediately the thought that always do pop out when I do feel this way was I am going to fail at this. I'm going to perform really bad this time. And I started to feel all these consequences, how, like, the worst case scenario that I have experienced before. I started thinking, and like a mind movie, it started to roll in my mind, and I immediately had awareness, and I decided, because of all the things I've learned, I tried to change, like, try another way to calm myself down. I decided not to think about the word nervous, not to try to encourage myself through the words of nervousness. And I was like, maybe I should think of something else. I should meditate. Okay, think about my dream life, the best feelings that I would have. When you are in that situation where you are about to go up for presentation, you're next, and you have not fully, you're not fully ready for your presentation yet, and you feel this anxiousness of keep reading and reciting, and you go up, and you know you're gonna mess up because even off stage you're practicing and you're always forgetting, even though you have practiced it a million times and you are fluent when you're not nervous, when you're in a stable state. But right before you're going up, you feel so nervous that you forget everything. The last thing you would want to do is not recite and do other things, and then waste the precious time you could lastly prepare for the presentation and going up to prepare. Because if you let go, like if you waste that time, you are completely doomed on stage. This is, I discovered that this is mostly always like, almost always the way I thought about this situation. And so I tried to let go. I said, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. You said what I said you know what I said in my head. I said, it's okay, Ari, don't worry. I have heard you recite this project, this project fluently off stage before. Like, I know you are ready. I know that you know what to say. You know everything that you have to say. You remember it. You just don't remember because you're nervous right now. So you have to calm down. Focus on calming yourself down instead of reciting. So this is the first shift I did, and I tried to calm myself down. I tried to think about other things and really taking deep breaths, thinking about things that would make me more joyful, more calm, at peace. And then I went over the script again. Normally I would recite it, like I would say. I would not look at the script. I would try to memorize it. And this time I actually pulled out the script and read it word by word, like, okay, this. I didn't try to memorize it. I read it one last time, and it was me next. And in that moment, I felt more calm because I just read it. Like, I know the first few words I have to say, so it kind of leads on. And even in the middle, I was a bit, but I still got through it, and it was better than I imagined because I calmed myself down the best way I could. And it's actually the first time that I got it that good at such a state. So, and plus this is my first time shifting my way of calming myself down, so I think that it would get even better and better as I practice this new way. So I think that the most important message right now is that you really have to put your worries aside, especially when you're most doubtful, when you would think of thoughts that would make you even more nervous. And you really have to, like, it's easy to be aware and notice the thoughts that would make you even more nervous, even more stressed at that moment, at that state. You would think and you would actually notice, but the only difference is whether you let it carry you away or not. So that's the moment you have to really bring your awareness and decide, okay, Ari, now what road are you gonna take? What are you gonna do about it? Like, are you going to change? And that's also part of why you really need to read more books, get more knowledge. At least you will have some information with what to do with your state right now. And you can try a new way. And if you can't think of any new ways, then search it up later. Try to find a way to fix the problem and just, I'm telling you right now, my solution is to calm myself down, let go of control, let go of all the worries, let go of all the thoughts that could possibly, like, it's like, you know the term, the saying of poor people or no middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets. This is like the same thing. You think thoughts that you think are preparing you, but in reality is only stressing you out. And you know that deep down. You just, because it's always, this is your unconscious belief about yourself that is wrong, but it's so ingrained in you that you use this method every time this kind of situation comes up. And you know it's gonna fail, but you still do that way because this is your default way of handling things. So you really have to calm yourself down, really think of other things. If you tried a method and it's just failed and failed and failed, but this is your default way of doing it, the next time, if you don't know what to do the opposite thing. Like opposite. The last thing, I swear, before, if I was the old self, the last thing I would do in the moments where I need to really practice and recitate and really be prepared to go up stage and presentate. The last thing I want to do is think about other things, think about other things and being so relaxed like I'm prepared, because I'm not. I would feel like I'm not, but honestly I was. I just didn't think I was because I was in that state. Because the nervousness caused me to be unprepared, to feel like I'm unprepared. So I felt like I needed to do more practice, but honestly, I just needed to calm myself down. And now I have shifted. I officially think I am doing better now, and practicing self-control, self-confidence is so important. And just really trust in God. Trust that God will make you have a really great performance, a really great exam, a really great work. Trust that when you are resting your mind and your heart at that moment, God will come out and help you. Through His power, you will do great work. This is what you need to believe in. And really embracing this kind of energy. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, like, I realized I'm not really good at speaking, so I'm gonna try to do that more often, and maybe I'll get better. I keep stuttering. But I am sure I'm going to get better. Anyways, I love y'all. Bye.